Downtown double dribble. Diaz walk, tall, let's go. Hey! Hip play, that's a tip off. We in it from the jump. Diaz walk, breaking down the action every run. Yeah. Talk stats, talk drama, talk hustle, talk hard from the league to the blacktop. People it apart, late nights, hot takes. You can hear the net sing. Overtime moments, every episode rings. You ain't courtside, cool. He bringing you the view. Whole squad tuned in, like what's he gonna do? It's that double dribble podcast. Locked in. DS walk got the fans talking. Blacking out from the baseline up to the rafters. Every play, every chapter. This the double dribble podcast. Let the crowd roll. DS walk keep the score on the scoreboard. If you love that talk, better tap in. When he drop that show, we back in. Back in. He gon' call out the choke, praise a clutch on the road. From the rookies on fire to the vets in control. Trade rumors in the air, he just shooting them down. Truth cut through the noise, hear the echoing sound. Pre-game, post-game, he got all of that flow. From the what if, legends to the stars we know. You can ride to it, vibe to it, cook in the crib. Whole fam in the kitchen yelling, run that clip. Oh, oh, just that double dribble lock, yeah, we locked in. DS walk, got the fans talking. Locking out from the baseline up to the rafters. Every play, every chapter, this the double dribble podcast. Let the crowd roar. DS walk, keep the score on the scoreboard. If you love that talk, better tap in. When he drop that show, we back in. Back in. From the first word spoken to the last sign off, you can feel that grind, you can tell he the ball. Same kid, same mic, whole world in his hands. He just draw up plays, we the ones with the plans, Just that double dribble podcast, we locked in. DS walk got the fans talking. Knocking out from the baseline up to the rafters. Every play, every chapter, this the double dribble podcast. Let the crowd roar. DS walk, keep the score on the scoreboard. Or if you love that talk, better tap in. When he drop that show, we back in. Back in.
And welcome to another fun edition of the Double Dribble Podcast. I'm your host, DS Wall. And before I continue, thank you everybody for watching my last video. Please continue to like, subscribe, and share, and comment on my videos. It helps a brother out. I like to be talked about. I like to be seen too, as you can tell. Joining me today is my former co-host and my friend. And even though you can't see him, his ghostly spirit is still here. Ladies and gentlemen, my good friend, Taman Turner.
What's going on, folks? It's good to be back with DS Walk. Sorry I couldn't be on camera doing the driving thing, doing the parent thing, going to pick up my son, but living the dream. I got a cold, but I'm here to talk some sports for a few minutes because, that's what we do and we do it the best way we do it. So that's how we're going to do it.
I couldn't say no other better than that because that's what we do. Man, me and Tam had so much fun talking sports over the years, and we still have fun talking about sports. So let's get right to it. Yesterday, we watched an unbelievable basketball game. Not in the pros, but in the college, we watched Arizona against Kansas. Now, I know Derek Peterson, he was out flu-like symptoms. As me and Taman had discussed early on today, I kind of felt like he's being load management. Or should I say he just didn't want to play yesterday, and that was the game he needed to play in. But nonetheless, Kansas beat Arizona, number 1 team in the nation, against number 17 team. Taman, how big of a victory that was for Kansas?
Well, look, we'll start off by saying, look, Arizona and Kansas are both phenomenal teams. Kansas ranked number 9, playing at Allen Fieldhouse, a legendary building where Kansas historically plays well. Going into this game, Bill Self was 39-0 in his tenure on Big Monday on ESPN. So we knew it was going to be a tough game for Arizona. And look, Arizona is still a phenomenal team. They led for the majority of this game, but for the final 9 minutes or so, they went on a stretch where they couldn't score. And look, Arizona was 23-0. They were playing really good basketball. And even up to this point, even though they didn't win yesterday, they're still playing really good basketball. I don't think anybody saw them going undefeated this season, considering that the Big 12 is a really dominant conference in college basketball. And if you think about it, it's very top heavy. And Kansas has been playing really well. They were on a 7-game win streak coming into last night. And despite not playing without Darren Peterson, look, that's not really shocking. Darren Peterson hasn't played a number of games this season, or there have been games where he didn't play, a good majority of a half, particularly the second half. So Kansas is used to playing without Darren Peterson. Bill Self has done a phenomenal job at coaching this season. Not just with Darren Peterson, but without Darren Peterson. So I mean, Kansas got a big win. I think Arizona is going to be just fine. Tommy Lloyd said yesterday, their head coach of Arizona, he said that after the game that this is where the real season starts. Their season's just beginning. So I'm paraphrasing, but he said the season's just beginning. So their team's going to be ready. They rebound well. They're very physical. I know people have criticized them for not being able to shoot the three point ball well, and you can say that hurt them yesterday when they went on a stretch where they couldn't score, where Kansas was playing good defense. But the fact of the matter is that they're still 23-1. I think they're going to be fine. And for Kansas, they're a very dangerous team, particularly on the defensive end. Everybody gives a lot of talk to Darren Peterson. Understandably, he's a phenomenal player, but Melvin Council Jr. is a phenomenal player. I know he didn't shoot the ball necessarily well yesterday, but he has been a defensive juggernaut. Floyd Badunga, who is going to be a really good player, particularly in the NBA, I think he'll be a solid player. He plays well defensively. He had a good game last night. I think Kansas is going to be a tough team to play in the NCAA tournament, and if Darren Peterson is there, that only makes them tougher.
Yes. Floyd Badunga had 23 points and 10 rebounds. He said I think he's like one of the best defensive centers in basketball, in college basketball. The guy's a rebounder and a shot blocker. He kind of reminds me of Joe Embiid, just where he plays defense down on the pedigree side, because Joe Embiid, when he was in college, everybody knew he was going to be the number one pick. But this young man stays healthy, and if he decides to go pro with it this year, next year, to my opinion, he'll be a top 10 pick. The young man is good. I seen the way he played yesterday. I was shocked for a while because the way he was dominating the basketball game. Melvin Council Jr., like you said, 6 for 25, 23 points though. Those guys stepped up when Darren Peterson wasn't there. Actually, they've been doing this all season when Peterson didn't play. I always say this, Taman, with a team like Kansas and Duke and North Carolina, when they lose early in the season, I don't worry about it, because at the end of the day, they're going to be there.
I mean, look, listen, Kansas is a good team led by Bill Self. The Big 12 is a phenomenal conference. Look, Duke, and UConn suffering losses. I'm not too worried about them. I think they're going to be fine. Look, I know we love the undefeated season. I mean, Arizona, it would have been cool. It would have been a great story. But look, this is you got some really, really good teams in that top 10, not just, I mean, you mentioned, Duke, but like, look, you got Duke, you got Kansas, you got UConn, you got Arizona, you got Iowa State, you got UConn. I mean, you got Houston. I mean, you've got some really good teams in that top 10.
Oh, most definitely. You already know my favorite team, Michigan, ranked number 2. Probably would be number 1 in this week if they don't lose a game.
They they they
This
they
season
probably
of
will.
college
Yeah.
basketball to me is so much exciting. I mean, it always been exciting, but it's more exciting this year because the uncertainty and the rise of the non-blue belt schools who are now crashing the party, and they're trying to make a name for themselves, and they're trying to make a deep run in the NCAA tournament. And not only that, NIL has played a huge role this year.
Yeah, I mean, look, to start off, Michigan's a phenomenal team. I just realized I didn't mention them when I brought up that top 10, but yeah, they're a phenomenal team, and it's going to be a juggernaut once the
Yeah,
NCAA tournament hits. Obviously, you only get one shot, but it's going to be fun to see what happens as February goes through when we enter into March.
yes, man, and as quiet as kept, I know Tamer wants. I know Tamer will say it around tournament time. I am pulling for Hofstra so they can make the tournament.
I don't feel very confident about that, but as everyone knows, if you listen, I love Hofstra, Roll Pride, but if Hofstra can't make it, I'm going to go with my sister's alma mater. I love UConn. I've been a Husky fan since I was a kid, so I know they lost to St. John's on Saturday, but UConn, they'll be all right.
Yeah, of course. And while we on the top of basketball, college, so Tamer is a Tom Izzo guy. So eventually we will have to go to a Michigan State game, but he also in return we gotta go to a UConn Husky game because I love the Big East. Big East always been my favorite conference growing up. I mean the old school Big East, not the new school Big East, the old school with this UConn, Georgetown, Syracuse, Boston College, Providence, Seton Hall, St. John's, the battle in the Garden for the Big East tournament. That was my favorite conference coming up. So,
I don't blame you. The old Big East was one to be reckoned with.
oh man, it was like murder's row. I mean, compared to all the other conferences back in the day, the Big East, anyone could win the Big East just because they were that good, not because it was um, weak or a down year. It's because every team was evenly that good, and anyone could win at any point in time. The only time the Big East was dominated by one school was UConn when they was on their championship run.
You know,
Other than that,
I can proudly say this is really crazy because this hasn't been done in a long time. UConn has won a national championship in both men and women's basketball, literally in the 90s, in the 2000s, in the 2010s, and the 2020s. Like, that's amazing. That is
hmm
simply amazing. And for the UConn men, they've done
and
it with three
UConn
different coaches.
always, in my opinion, is well coached schools, men and women basketball. Um, Gino's been there for a long, what, over 30 years. Uh, Calhoun was there for a long period of time. He retired. They had a little transition. I forgot the guy who was after him, but Hurley, who's in right now, is doing Calhoun type work down in UConn. Since he's been there, they've been a top 10 school. They won 2 national championships. That they get some of the best recruits in the country, and he develops those recruits, and that's the major part. I say develop because a lot of kids when they leave college really not develop. And
I mean, look,
UConn, in my personal
you know,
opinion, man, they're always going to be a top 3 basketball school. Their school's always going to be in the top 5, and I'm very, very excited and proud of UConn for the work they have done since that
I mean,
school
look,
existed in basketball, in men and
I
women.
mean, I mean, look, Jim Calhoun set the tone. Gino Auriemma set the tone. Kevin Ollie was after Jim Calhoun. There was some recruit issues. Kevin Ollie had to move on, but Dan Hurley has been phenomenal. He's a great head coach, and UConn's in good hands on both the men and the women's side.
Yeah, and no diss to Kevin, I just couldn't remember his name, but he also won a national championship there. So he followed the Jim Calhoun blueprint on winning national champion recruiting, but he kind of did illegal his own way. But the blueprint of winning that Jim Calhoun started with the men's side and Gino on the women's side is, to me, that, like I said, the best 1-2 punch in all of college basketball for men and women. Um, we're gonna transition now to the NBA because the NBA is nothing but fantastic. And the trade deadline came and went. A lot of teams made some moves. I am surprised that teams like Utah, teams like the Washington Wizards, who made big time trades and got big time players, but now they don't want to play them players because they still want to tank. What do you think about that?
Look, I don't like it. I mean, tanking has been a part of the NBA for a long time. I get it. I understand it, but it's one thing that's so blatant with it. But teams have done it before. Heck, the Mavericks did it in 2023 when they sat out Luca, they sat out Kyrie, they sat out a bunch of guys, and that's just what they decided to do. I'm not a big fan of it. Listen, Deshaun with Diaz Walk, when we hosted our show, I said, look, I'm a fan of winning. I don't like losing. I don't like tanking. And listen, the Mavericks are tanking. But they're organically tanking, and I'm not trying to say that it's the right thing either. But they're trying to build around Cooper Flag. They're trying to see what other young pieces can work. For example, around Cooper Flag, maybe using Ryan Nimhard, trying to see where Najee Marshall fits. I mean, they're trying different things. Utah needs to be trying different things. Utah doesn't need to be up by 15 points and take all of their starters out in the fourth quarter and then wonder why they lost.
Yeah.
That is a blatant take. Do an organic tank. If you lose, whatever. If you win, whatever. And quite frankly, by the way, and I'm saying this off the record, even though I'm on the air, I am saying that I don't think it particularly matters sometimes if you tank so much to get your number one pick, because the Mavericks had a 1.8% chance last year and they got Cooper Flag. And I don't think that was by accident. And I'll just leave it at that.
Oh, of course not. You know the league had to help out Dallas after they just
Those were
kind
not my words. All I'm saying is
of.
there was some. I'll just put it like this: if you believe the story about what happened with the Luka Doncic trade, if you believe that story, I would just tell you to explore a little bit more. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. You know, like I said, we all know how the NBA operates. If you don't know, you know the NBA
If you
traded.
don't know, now you know.
Yep, the NBA traded Luca to LA, and somehow Dallas ended that number one pick. So, Tame, before we let you go, man, because we know you gotta handle some family business and take care of things. Can you tell everybody where they can find you and what you're doing these days?
Yes, absolutely. Find me on Twitter at TaimonT717. Spell my name right. TAIMONT717. That is my name. And I'm the executive producer of Big 12 Today on TuneIn Radio and on Big 12 Studios. You can catch me Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. I contribute on there. You'll see me on a couple of pieces. Ari Temkin and James Westling, they host a show. I'm just a guy kind of behind the scenes, but you hear my little on-air contributions here and there. Gave a little talk about Arizona and Kansas this morning and what I thought about last night's game. So you can catch me there. I'm really big on Twitter. I try to be on Mavs Twitter a lot. I follow the Mavs, love the Mavs. You can catch me. We had a interesting away from the NBA, an interesting Super Bowl on Sunday. Congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks winning the Super Bowl 60 in San Francisco, aka Santa Clara, California. I got to give them a lot of love. Congrats to them. They had a phenomenal defense, and congrats to Sam Darnold with the journey that he has had. But a lot of fun, a lot of good times in sports. I hope everybody can enjoy it. I hope you can find me, and let's have some fun with it.
All right. Well, Taman, thank you for coming on, man. Go handle your business. I'll talk to you later.
All right, brother. Thank you much.
All right. You're welcome. And that was Taman Turner, ladies and gentlemen, my good friend, my brother. Um, love having him coming on. Tam is one of the few people who don't need to call me up to come on to be on the show. He can just come on the show because that's the type of relationship that we have. And just to piggyback on a few things he said, and before I could continue with the tanking, number one, congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks for winning the Super Bowl. They finally got their revenge on the Patriots. And I know I got some Patriot fans out there, and they're probably sitting there wondering what happened. What happened is y'all got stumped out. That's what happened. Y'all ran into one of the best defenses in the NFL, the top defense in the NFL. And with you guys, I want you to answer this question for me. During that performance, during the Super Bowl, do you think that the Seattle Seahawks defense will go down as one of the best in NFL history for their performance in the Super Bowl? Because I think so. Anytime you hold a team scores for 3 quarters and dominate the way you did, even though the 3 quarter it was 9-0, but really there was no threat of the Patriots doing anything, that's some hell of a good team defense. Shout out to Seattle. Number two, that halftime show was amazing. One of the best ever. One of the most viewed ever, over 140 plus viewed. Bad Bunny doing this thing at the Super Bowl halftime show. And if you didn't like it, that's your opinion. But if you love it, you understood the message, you understood the assignment, you understood what he was talking about. It didn't matter if he sung it in Spanish, he could sing that, they do his performance in English. It was a message behind everything. And congratulations to Bad Bunny putting on one of the best performances at the Super Bowl. And hopefully down the road that he'll make another appearance at the Super Bowl. Now back to the tanking. Tanking right now is so bad that it's making the league look bad. When you have 3 to 4 or 5 teams blatantly taking so that they can get a high pick, get a top 3 pick, because this draft is deep. Well, a lot of these teams don't understand that this draft is so deep that 1 through 30, you will get a good player. You will probably get a franchise player. You got the Pacers, you got the Jazz, you got the Wizards, you got the Mavericks. I'm quite sure. I would say New Orleans Pelicans, but fortunately, they can't tank and they suck. They can't tank because if they continue to lose, they would make their odds a lot better for Atlanta Hawks to land the first round pick this year. Adam Silver has tried to do little work here and there trying to fix the tanking situation in the NBA. He has tried and he has failed. Teams find loopholes to continue the tanking. Or some team, if you like the Utah Jazz, you don't give a damn about the tank, about the rules. You just won't tank. If Adam Silver really serious about solving tanking in his own league, he gonna have to take some serious matters. And look, if that includes taking away draft picks, because the fines don't matter. Fines do not matter. If you want to take away draft picks, or if you want to even the odds out for every 30 teams on landing the first round pick, do it. Just go ahead and do it. Because maybe this will solve the tanking situation. And if that don't work, just get rid of the draft in general. Because this is pathetic. I understand that in the past, OKC tanked for about 5-6 years, and now they're a great team. The Pistons tanked for 3-4 years, and now they're a good team. The San Antonio Spurs have tanked for some 3 to 4 or 5 years, and now they're up becoming a very good team, young team. 3 young teams who had tanked, and now they have turned the corner. So when teams like Utah, who was tanking around that time, and when you see Utah, and now you see the Pacers because they lost Tyrese Halliburton, now they're tanking. When teams see the teams of the past who got younger, and now those young talent has blossomed, now they want to do it. It's just a bad look. It's just a really bad look. The NBA has to address that. I don't know about you guys, but yesterday it was an exciting Monday because I seen a fight in Charlotte. There was a fight in Minnesota, and that Charlotte fight with the Pistons and the Hornets, JD, Musa, Miles Bridges, and Isaiah Stewart. Stewart's my guy. I don't care what nobody say. Isaiah Stewart is my guy. If I ever got into a fight, I want Stewart on my team because he seen JD was going, in my personal opinion, JD had everything under control. But Miles Bridges just wanted some more smoke. He just wanted some smoke. And Isaiah looked on the bench and he seen really nothing getting handled the way that it should. Isaiah Stewart ran off the bench because he seen his brother needed some help. He didn't need the help, but he ran off that bench. And he aimed for Miles Bridges. And he was trying to get my man, trying to knock his head off. He got a couple of shots in where Miles had his head down, but Miles Bridges squared up on Stewart. I was begging, like, yo, get out the way. Let this fight happen. We got to see it. I am tired of seeing all these guys want to be friends on the damn court all the time. Let's get physical. The Detroit Pistons is a physical basketball team. They're going to piss you off. They're going to challenge your manhood. And that's exactly what happened. Jalen Duren was killing, excuse my language, he was manhandling Masua. Masua kept following because he can't handle JD. JD is a grown man. That's a young man with a grown man's body. And he kept following him. He couldn't handle JD. They head bunted. JD took his hand and mushed his face. When he did that, my man went crazy swinging. He was trying to get at JD like he was trying to get at those chicken nuggets. He was crazy swinging. Mad love for that, man. I mean, it's about damn time we see some physical violence. It's about time we see some fights. Look, I'm not an advocate of violence. I'm just tired of everybody being buddy buddy, and then once somebody get physical with somebody else, nothing happen. No. I want to see some fights in the NBA. All right, nobody doesn't have to be friends. Let's get physical out there. The Detroit Pistons are a physical team. I just said they're gonna challenge your manhood. They're gonna challenge you. When you got beef, Stu, and Duran just being physical with you out there, I mean, someone said it best. The Charlotte Hornets, they stood up to the Pistons. They stood up to them. They wanted to smoke. But you know what? The Pistons cracked them boys. They cracked them. Because Charlotte's couldn't, the Hornets, none, Bridges, none of their players, they couldn't take it anymore. They had to respond. They had no choice but respond. At the way they was getting punked, they had to respond. Them boys cracked mentally. And they was ready to throw down. I hope we get this matchup in the first round because Charlotte has been one of the best teams since January with 12-3 record. Before this loss to the Pistons, they were on a 9-game winning streak. Right now, they're sitting currently in the 10th place in the Eastern Conference. They're right there in the play-in game. Man, I want to see the Charlotte Hornets and the Pistons running back in the postseason. I don't want to see these guys in the regular season no more. I'm done with it. Let's get to the postseason for these two squads. I want to see it. The Charlotte Hornets has finally woken up. They have been pushed around for the last 5 years. They've been pushed around. They've been talked about. They've been an embarrassment in the league. Now they're on the rise. And my Detroit Pistons cracked them boys and woke them up. They were a stepping stone. Teams are walking over the Charlotte Hornets. Teams didn't have to worry about the Charlotte Hornets until they went on the street and until yesterday. So I do expect the Charlotte Hornets to come out and be a blazing fire. I expect them to go out here and win some ball games. And I want them to make that push for a playoff spot. Matter of fact, I want the Charlotte Hornets to get out of the 10th place and try to get to be in 7th, 8th place. I want the Charlotte Hornets to succeed. I want them because I want them to see the Pistons in the postseason. I want to see that. And I stand by Isaiah Stewart. When you see your brother in trouble, kinda, not really, but when you see your brother fighting, he fighting by himself, yeah, I'm gonna run on the court and I'm gonna help my brother out. That's what Stewart did. I ain't mad at him. He might get 5 to 10 game suspension. We don't know. Everybody who's involved in that fight might get multiple game suspension. We don't know. By the end of the day, I enjoyed it. Now, the one in Minnesota, they were just grabbing each other. But you know what? It's all good. It's all good. I ain't mad about it. Because to me, when I see those type of physical games, it just kind of remind me that the playoffs are right around the corner. We itching closer to the All-Star break, which starts on Thursday. But man, I can't wait to postseason basketball because we're almost there. We're almost there. And my Detroit Pistons are sitting in first place of the Eastern Conference. So yes, that's good. I'm always happy with that. News and notes. Seth Curry, if you didn't know, will not be playing the All-Star game due to an injury, to his hamstring injury. He will not be participating. He was replaced by Brandon Ingram. And we also know Giannis will not be playing in this year's All-Star game. In fact, instead of playing, he'll be coaching one of the celebrity basketball teams. Don't know which one. And Damian Lillard, who is out with a torn ACL from last season, postseason, who was out for the remainder of this season, will participate in the 3-point shootout. And this year's dunk contest has 4 participants. And let's see. I know one of them is Stephen Castle. And let's find out the other. The field would include newcomers Carter Bryant of the San Antonio Spurs, Jackson Hayes of the Los Angeles Lakers, Keisha Johnson of the Miami Heat, and Jace Richardson of the Orlando Magic. So there won't be no Stephen Castle. Got that wrong, but hey, this contest will present 4 new guys who has never participated in a dunk contest in the last few years, but it should be exciting. It should be exciting. And also, let's see who is participating in the 3-point shootout. And in this field, I told you it would be Tyrese Maxey, Devin Booker, Donovan Mitchell, and Damian Lillard. Also competing, because those are the headliners also, who also be joining them, Norman Powell, Bobby Portis, Jamal Murray, and Con Canupo. So the 3-point contest should be very interesting. Now, if I'm going to pick someone who's going to win it, I'm going to go with Devin Booker. He's my pick to win it. And the dunk contest, I'm going to go with Jace Richardson. I'm going to go Booker going up against Con Canupo. That's my 2 picks. And the All-Star game itself is going to be Team USA versus the world. And this format will be different because it's going to be 2 Team USA. And Team A, Team B, and Team World. So it's a different format. It's going to be different. I don't know why the NBA is doing this. They should just have Team USA versus the world. We don't need 2 Team USAs because we don't have 2 teams of the world. But this is what they're going through. This is what they want. So let's hope that this is success. If not, then we're going right back to the drawing board. And of course, we also going to get the State of the Union from the commissioner talking about the Clippers and their investigation, the gambling situation, expansion, and, just the basic boring stuff that you guys don't find boring. I'm going to find interesting. But not only that, the All-Star festivities, everything will be held down in Los Angeles, California. I did Tuit Dome, home to the Los Angeles Clippers. There's going to be a lot of celebrities, a lot of ball players. It's going to be everybody in one arena coming together, having a good time. And I wish I was there to see it. But fortunately, I would be at home like everybody else watching it. So with that said, make sure you guys tune in to the NBA All-Star game, All-Star weekend. It should be very enjoyable. And thank you for watching my show. And make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is DS Walks Double Dribble Podcast. I want to thank you guys for coming on. Thank you to my guest, Tama Turner. Thank you, everybody. Peace.
Downtown double dribble. Diaz Walk, so let's go. Hip play, that's a tip off. We in it from the jump. Diaz Walk, breaking down the action every run. Talk stats, talk drama, talk hustle, talk hard from the league to the blacktop. People it apart, late nights, hot takes. You can hear the net sing. Overtime moments, every episode rings. You ain't courtside, cool. He bringing you the view. Whole squad tuned in, like what's he gonna do? It's that double dribble podcast. DS Walk got the fans talking. From the baseline up to the Raptors, every play, every chapter is the double dribble podcast. Let the crowd roll. DS Walk keep the score on the scoreboard. If you love that talk, better tap in. When he drop that show, we back in. He gon' call out the choke, praise a clutch on the road. From the rookies on fire to the vets in control. Trade rumors in the air, he just shooting them down. Truth cut through the noise, hear the echoing sound. Pre-game, post-game, he got all of that flow. From the what if legends to the stars, we know. You can ride to it, vibe to it, cook in the crib. Whole fam in the kitchen yelling, run that clip. Oh, oh, just that double dribble lock, yeah, we locked in. DS DS Walk got the fans talking. Knocking out from the baseline up to the rafters. Every play, every chapter, this the double dribble podcast. Let the crowd roar. DS Walk keep the score on the scoreboard. If you love that talk, better tap in. When he drop that show, we back in. From the first word spoken to the last sign off, you can feel that grind, you can tell he the ball. Same chair, same mic, whole world in his hands. He just draw up plays, we the ones with the plans, This that double dribble podcast, we locked in. DS Walk got the fans talking, knocking out from the baseline up to the rafters. Every play, every chapter, this the double dribble podcast. Let the crowd roar. DS Walk keep the score on the scoreboard. Oh, if you love that talk, better tap in. When he drop that show, we back in.